Welcome back. We have rock royalty with us on the sofa. She's had an unparalleled career as a solo artist and as frontwoman of Fleetwood Mac, whose album Rumours sold more than 40 million copies worldwide and was in the top 10 of the UK charts for 24 weeks.
It's been 10 years since Stevie next recorded a solo album. She describes the new one, In Your Dreams, as a full-blown rock and roll album with some beautiful ballads, and it is as well. Morning, welcome.
Good morning, how are you?
Oh, very well, how are you?
Good, I'm great.
Not too early this morning?
Oh yes, I got up at 4.
Did you?
You know these rock stars?
I did. I said I'm going to be like I'm going to do what you guys do.
You could have done the whole show for us.
I know.
He would have loved that. He's been talking about this all week, Stevie, I have to say. We'll talk to you in just a sec.
Let's first have a quick look at Secret Love.
I'm not asking forever from you. I'm just asking to be held for a while. In a timeless search for a love that might work. We're already paying the price. But you need some rest, my darling, it's best. But we already passed it, I cried. Listen to me, my secret love secretly died.
And if that sounds sort of reminiscent of a previous style, it's because you wrote that in 1976.
75.
75, big fun. And it was for the sort of the Rumours recording session.
Well, it was not necessarily. It was, you know, when I write, I just write songs.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, this particular song, I must have put the little cassette in a box and sent it off to my mom in Phoenix, because for some reason I never showed this song to Fleetwood Mac.
Oh.
Had I shown it to them, this is the kind of song that Lindsay would have loved, because it's very simple. It's just a very Fleetwood Mac-esque song.
Yeah.
So had I shown it to them, it would have probably been on one of those first 2 records.
Is it based on a story? Who's the Secret
Well,
Love?
it's about somebody that probably the only song I've ever written in my life that I honestly am not quite sure who it's about. Because, you know, that first year of Fleetwood Mac was so insane. And so we went from, you know, cleaning lady, waitress, to we started in January. At the end of the summer, Lindsay and I together were a millionaire.
Lindsay Buckingham.
Yeah. So we went from literally, I mean, I gave 2 weeks notice in January at my restaurant.
So it's that you don't remember, or it was just non-specific?
No, it's just, I honestly don't remember.
You're having good times.
I'm thinking 2 or 3 different things it could have been, but you know, you don't want to go and like tell the whole world right now, well, guess who this is about,
No.
and have that person call you and say, you know, it wasn't about me, and I don't appreciate it, because I was married and had 2 kids.
It's always good to have an element of mystery about songs
yes,
on an album, because it gets people to talk about it as well.
And it's your interpretation. I like the fact that everybody can interpret it to themselves.
Yes. So you were a waitress, and then you went from a waitress to being a millionaire in how long?
7 months.
7 months. Extraordinary. How did that happen?
Well, Mick Fleetwood called us on the last day of 1974. No, sorry, the last day of 74 on New Year's Eve, and asked us sight unseen if we wanted to join the band. And at that point, Lindsay and I lived in an apartment in Hollywood, and I was a waitress in 2 different restaurants. I also cleaned my producer's house twice a week, and all that paid for our rent. And because really, what was Lindsay going to do? Nothing. So, but I didn't mind, because it was good. I enjoyed it, you know, and I worked all day, and I came home and we did music until 3, and then we started again. So it was the best of both worlds for me. I got to get out and get away from all the boys. And so it was, you know, it was fine. And then when we joined Fleetwood Mac, they instantly started paying us $200 a week a piece, cash. So in 3 weeks, we were both rich.
Yeah.
And then when we started recording in 6 weeks, it was $400 a piece in cash a week. We just signed our initials, SN, $400. And so it was like 4, 8, you know, it was 12. It was like so much money that we were like, oh my God. So that was nothing.
But you were doing things to earn the money. Let's have a look, see what you did.
Okay.
were just talking
Yes.
about the fact that, Stevie's goddaughter's in the latest video wearing, because I was talking about your sense of style.
Right.
You've always had such a distinctive and brilliant style about you. Your goddaughter was wearing
an outfit. She twirls around. She has a little top hat on. That was that outfit was made in 1976.
Well, see if we can dig that out.
Lots of very sort of poignant material on the new album. There's one song dedicated to somebody who really helped you very greatly after your addiction,
Right.
and also a song for soldiers.
Right.
Because you do a lot of work with them, don't you?
Well, yeah, we visit Bethesda Naval and Walter Reed Army hospitals in D.C. And I wrote this poem in 2005 at the end of, after my second visit there. And then it took, it was 5 verses. And then I told all the soldiers every time I would go that this is going to be a song someday, but I could never write a chorus. And then I was here in 2009, November, and you guys lost 7 of your English soldiers in a massacre in Iraq. And it was front page news everywhere, and it kind of reminded me what it must have been like maybe to have been here during World War II, because it seemed the city just went insane. So I wrote a 6-page rant in my journal, and out of that came the 4 lines that became the chorus, which was, I am a soldier's angel 4 years later, in a war of words between worlds about what is wrong and about what is righteous. I am a soldier's girl. And in saying I am a soldier's girl, that just means that I support whatever they do. I don't have an opinion.
Okay.
I just go and I visit them and I take their music and I listen to them tell me amazing stories. And you walk in one of those hospitals, a person with not that many problems, and you walk out of that hospital a mom, a mother, a wife.
Yeah.
It's very heavy.
Do you use a lot of personal experiences and those sort of stories you were just telling us about the soldiers? Is it important to you to put all that in your music? Is there anything that you hold back? Has there been anything that you hold back?
Not really. You know, I don't sit down saying I'm not like a Nashville writer who makes appointments all day long to write. If I meet somebody that affects me and I want to write something about them, then I go home and I write a poem, and then maybe 6 months later I might go sit at the piano with it. 2 years later, maybe. 5 years later, maybe.
So you've got drawers of poems
I have
that
a
you haven't used yet.
lot of poetry.
And the album you dedicated to someone called Sarah. Is that by any chance the same Sarah as
No.
in the song? It's a different Sarah.
That is, I call her the Make-A-Wish Sarah. She came to us through the Make-A-Wish Foundation in the United States. She had cancer, and her parents got through to us, and I met her, and I just, loved her. I met her when she was 21, and she lived until she was 24. She had cancer from 17 to 24. And she was just brilliant, She was one of those little girls. She died. Her dad made this moon for me. It's got 32 diamonds in it, and it's for the 32 shows that they brought her to over that couple of years. And I dedicated the record to her because I know that of all the people, she would have been the one most excited that I had done a new record, because, I hadn't done one in a long time. And
Wish
It's
we'd
a
talk more to you
lovely
this
album.
morning. It is
Thank
a lovely
you.
album.
Thank you very much
Thanks
for coming in.
Stevie Nicks. In Your Dreams and single Secret Love Right on Monday. She's performing live with Rod Stewart on Sunday in Hyde Park. Didn't have time to talk about it.
That's
Gotta
it
go.
from us this morning. We're back at 6 o'clock tomorrow, joined by Ronnie Wood. See you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Your calls can